you are applying for credit too quickly, too frequently, too consistently, which is why you are getting denied for business credit. And so in this video, I want to run you through a simple thought process that I run clients through whenever we are helping them scale access to working capital. And so let me show you this on my iPad because it's easier to show than just tell. And so the way that it works is you have the start of a funding process, and then you have the end. So we'll do S. Not sure where I got my eraser in there, but we have the S, and then we have the F for finish. So we have the start and the finish. I'm gonna give you essentially two of these. So I'll do literally another one just like it, right? So start and finish. So let's say that our target is, I'm not sure where my eraser keeps coming up, but let's roll with it. Let's say that both targets are 100K, right? So both targets are 100K. What most inexperienced people do, and it's probably because they need access to capital quickly, or they just flat out, most often they just flat out don't know how the process works, is they just do what's like a shotgun. And so they just apply all of these different applications, and then they get hit with a big old wall. And that wall is D for denial. And so what ends up happening when you hit that first, what we call denial, wall denial, is now it gets more difficult as you submit more applications. You get hit with another denial wall, and then it just starts becoming more denials after denials after denials. Here's why. Banks have a collection of data inside of their ecosystem that they are time stamping how many times a business and a business owner goes in to collect access to capital. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, especially if you've been living on YouTube for some time. Well, Irv, I could probably just pay someone, or I could just go ahead and delete the hard inquiries myself. If this was 2020, 2021, I would have said possibly, right? But banks and the way that the algorithms are now looking at files, it's becoming far more sophisticated. And so even though you delete the hard inquiry at the bureau level, whether it's TransUnion, Equifax, or TransUnion, it still shows up as a timestamp inside of their ecosystem. And so now what they do is they say, wait a minute, we've already given this person access to working capital. Why are they coming back so quickly for more capital if they either A, haven't deployed that capital into the market, or if B, that hard inquiry is no longer there. And so if you actually land inside of that second piece, that's where you end up getting your limits slashed or denied altogether, which like I don't even recommend removing the hard inquiries. Like I have a strong stance on that. And, you know, for many reasons, one of them being you just end up falling in bad graces with financial institutions. If you plan on being in business for some time, you want to treat your partners right, which in this case, it's the bank. So this is how we would typically do it right here. Let's say that we have a 100K goal that we are looking to get access to capital. One of the things that we do is we're first going to test and taste really 3 apps as an example. And what ends up happening is we'll get, let's say, an approval here, and then maybe you'll get like a pending application here, right? You're going to want to pay attention to this pending application, which is why the whole shotgun thing drives me mad, because you don't give the system enough time to breathe. And so if you have a pending application, and then let's say it comes back denied, see why it came back denied, and then make that tweak or make that change before you start shotgunning or submitting way more stuff, because then it overloads the system. And then you end up submitting a bunch of junk on behalf of your business that now you start running into, again, these denials more frequently, more consistently. If you're looking at a ratio of how many applications or how many approvals should I be able to get within, let's say, a period of time, if you're not within 90 to 95% hit rate, meaning approvals, then you're doing something horribly wrong. If for 10, let's say, credit applications that you submit, if your goal is credit stacking, and 5 of them are approved, 5 of them are denied, it only gets harder from there, which is why I've said it before. Credit stacking at scale breaks. So if, let's say, you submit and you've done this correctly and you've laid the groundwork and you submit, let's say, 10 applications over, let's say, a year, maybe not, within 30 days, within over a year, 9 of those should be approved, especially if you're spacing it out like this. So the way that I like to structure this is I have a start and then I have a finish. And so what we typically do is we'll do, let's say, we'll go into one sequence right here. So I'll call it a sequence right here. We'll have one sequence right here. I'll have a pause just to make sure it's not breaking and just to make sure that the business is able to sustain the pace that we're operating at. If you are a small business owner who's looking to get access to business capital, not just right now, but as you continue to grow, we actually help implement funding systems directly into our clients' businesses so they can get access to capital as they continue to scale their operations. If that at all interests you, go ahead and book a call with our team. We'll take a look at where your business is at and where you are looking to go. That's insideinnercircle.com. It's also pinned down below. Let's continue on with the video. Versus what most people do is they just submit a bunch of stuff on the front end like this, and then they get hit with a ton of denials, is because number one is this is going to be scalable. Number two, if something does come up that we need to fix, whether it's the classification, the way the business is positioned, maybe the banking or the credit union that we're looking to do business with isn't seeing the business that we're looking to access funding for as a part of the lending appetite, doesn't want to work with them in their lending portfolio, we can make that change. This is why I tell our clients, hey, as we're setting up a business funding system into your business, we want to set it up in a way that's holistic and sustainable. So it's not just about racing to $100,000. It's about, can we get 100 now? Can we get another 1 to 150 in the next 3 months? Can we get another 1 to 150 in the next 6 months to a year? Because we want to scale this thing. Because the capital that you're going to use today for your business is going to be totally different from the capital that you're going to need later on as you scale, which if you're doing it right, it's going to be more capital because you're growing. So more operations, bigger deals, better operations, better staff, ops, like whatever that is, you're going to want to use the money that you're going to get from banks to be able to, again, put some gasoline on it. And so hopefully you found this simple illustration helpful. I wanted to make it quick, to the point. If you need help at all with our team to take a look at this for you, we can go ahead and take a look under the hood, see where you're at, see what's working, see what's not working. We can help put a business funding system set up directly into your business, set it up for you. If that at all interests you, go ahead, book the link or book a call in the link below, insideinnercircle.com. We'll have a no BS conversation with you if we can help you or not. But either way, it was an absolute pleasure making this video for you. Hope that you found value in it. Other than that, I will see you in the next video. Bye.